Hello my acquaintances, I have once again run out of content, as you may have noticed on my channel. So I'm doing a review on Animal Crossing. Here is some of the gameplay footage. I tried to record a Let's Play and realized I'm boring, so there you have it. And Rosalina's here today. Review on Animal Crossing New Horizons from a gamer herself. So, this game I bought about probably maybe a week after it came out, maybe less. I did buy it and I bought it digitally. One con immediately is that it takes up a lot of space to download, and then it takes up even more space to even start playing it because you have to make a save thing. So that's a little bit of a con because I had to archive a bunch of basically every other game I have, and I had to delete a couple of apps I had. So, you know, that's a con right off the bat, but once you play it, you're like, oh, it makes sense that it takes up this much space. Because there's a lot you can do. I mean, it's a lot of it's a task-based game, and sometimes there are no tasks, which then it can become a boring game if you don't like this type of game, which you have a pretty good idea if you're gonna like Animal Crossing before you buy it. Most people know ahead of time if you're not very good at video games. Animal Crossing is probably one of your favorite video games. So that's me. If you like Splatoon, you probably like Animal Crossing. There are a couple of other little things like that are just kind of tedious. Fishing, it's kind of sometimes kind of annoying, and then it's like, it's not annoying just when it's a rare fish. It can be annoying when it's like literally an egg, or like a common fish like a loach or sea bass. That's a little bit annoying that how particular the aiming of the fishing pole is. Another little thing is crafting. Instead of crafting the max amount you can craft or choosing a quantity, that's not an option, so you just have to keep crafting and it shows it off every time, which is it's just a little bit kind of a little thing, just a tiny little thing that they could probably patch, and I'm interested to see if they do patch that because a lot of people have suggested that. I do like that they did add an option to like speed up the text. So that's very fun and nice and good and helpful. So when animals are talking, you can hit B to speed up what they're saying. The museum. The museum in this game, it's like visiting a whole nother universe. It is so cool and epic, and it gives you basically like a huge variety of things to look for. Like, if you've done everything else in the game, you probably haven't completed your museum because you have to visit other random islands and you don't know what island you're gonna do, so then you have to earn more miles to go to more islands and find rare fish. And it's just a very cool little thing. And then seeing like the different value of all the different items, and then like the turnip stock market and the hot item of the day. It just kind of, it makes it so that it's at least changing, even if it's ever so slightly. Like, the still premise of the game is the same. You still have to collect the materials and find it. Another gripe I have, again, is having to craft tools. And having to craft tools every, 10 minutes. That's not fun. You have to craft things. You have to find a crafting bench. Like, if I could just craft it through, the Nook phone, where you can do everything else, it wouldn't be so bad if I could just open up a menu and craft it. But the fact that you have to go and find a crafting bench, and then You have to craft each item individually. It gets a little bit tedious and annoying. But other than that, it's a good game. Basically, I would rate this game. It's a nice, chill, and relaxing game that I have become a little bit addicted to. And by a little bit addicted to, I mean I feel like I'm playing for 5 minutes and I have played for 3 hours without noticing. So, I mean, it's obviously, despite the negatives, everyone's talked about the positives. So, I mean, that's just the kind of game it is. It's the kind of game that it is. It does have some kind of fun little side things. I like the little ghost. This is the first actual Animal Crossing game I've played. I only played Pocket Camp before, so you don't have to, you know, play all of the games to enjoy this one. However, if you did play this and then went back to play an older one, I think you wouldn't like it as much because this does have a lot of new features and a lot more helpful features like stacking items, both by placing them and in your inventory, which you can't do in some of the previous games. It's a nice little calming game. You can do it has a, I wouldn't say a world of possibilities, but it's got quite a few, and the custom design, like you can upload QR codes kind of thing, that has been a very nice feature in this game. I would rate this game. It's kind of hard to rate an Animal Crossing game because it is an Animal Crossing game. So, as far as the actual gameplay, there are tasks you can do, but I mean, it's an Animal Crossing game. So, objectively, I would give it a 3 out of 5, but subjectively, I would give it a 5 out of 5 because it is very fun and nice, and I love the style of it. For design, I am giving it a 5 out of 5. For Egg Day, I am giving it a 2 out of 5. It's very annoying and repetitive, however, I do like me a good egg, so that is my aesthetic. For price is kind of a hard one, because for me, this is a time sink kind of game, and I will get my money's worth out of it, just by the amount of time I put into it. That's kind of how I judge value. How many hours did I work at minimum wage? Would that be worth the amount of hours I get out of this game? And it already has within like the first couple days. So for me, the value is a 5 out of 5, but I can understand why $60 would be a kind of steep price for an Animal Crossing game. You have to wait like a full day unless you're time skipping. You may get kind of bored a little bit quick if you're a expert hardcore gamer. Actually, I'll give it a 4 out of 5 for price, because I have found myself saying, I don't know what to do in this game, and then putting it down till the next day. Quality, I guess quality and design, I already said 5 out of 5, except for the little quirks. I'll say 4.8 out of 5. It's a fun little game. I quite like it. This review is done for. I love the aesthetic of this game, so I was gonna like it kind of regardless. It's a cute little game. It's fun. It's a nice little time sink, especially in a time like this. They basically got the most free advertising and marketing because we are forced to stay indoors. And speaking of being forced to stay indoors, I might as well throw in a little thing since this is the end of the video. I have been completely removed off of my schedule of my actual job. So if you guys could consider subscribing, that would be kind of epic. And also, I have a merch store, so you get actual item of value for your value in the description, and it's been doing really bad. For watching, you know that. Bye. Subscribe. See you later, all you haters.